So it's come to this. I have legitimately been fearing the day I watched this movie. The movie is just mediocrely bad. It's not the worst film I've ever seen in my life, and it's not good. It's just mediocrity at its finest, and that is a shame to say. Hollywood, it's a shame that finally when women do get in the forefront of a film, all 4 leads are women, and that is an amazing thing. Very diverse cast, you know, you enjoy all of these women in various TV projects and movies that they've done before. I do not hate the fact that they were all women cast in the Ghostbusters roles, because I think that's actually a pretty different idea. But as I stated in my previous video of the trailer review, and for more information, I definitely recommend checking Midnight's Edge's videos on all the controversy, the insanity that has happened between the actors, the director Paul Feig, and the bastards themselves from the producers of Sony, on how terrible they've treated the fan base, on how just terrible things have just been said. To the fans who are assholes to those people, they deserve being called assholes back. But to the fans like myself who wanted to give this film a chance, so we're just automatically shat upon? This is a whole different discussion for another video, but again, I highly recommend checking out Midnight Edge's coverage on that whole subject matter and controversies of this reboot of Ghostbusters. After 20 plus years of wanting a Ghostbusters film of some kind, this is the best Hollywood can do. Feminists, you should not be upset at the fact that there's not enough women in films. You should be upset at the fact that you are given such shit scripts that give women such a bad reputation in being the main protagonists in the film. The movie is a mess. It is trying to cater to all sides of the spectrum. Nostalgic fans like myself, new generations of fans, and the women empowerment. As long as it was a good movie and gave me good comedy, great performances, and all around great direction and visuals for a Ghostbusting movie. But I didn't get that. I got a hint of moments of morsels of good stuff sprinkled throughout, a few chuckles of jokes, and like 75% mediocrity of just bland, plateaued, lackluster character development, visual style, and very, very lazy writing. I saw hints of potential throughout this film, with Paul Feig as the director, and Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, all great people in terms of comedy. Hints of story and development for characters that are dropped halfway or a quarter of the way through, never to be mentioned again. There's emotional moments that start to peak and then they again evaporate. There's just nothing left to grab a hold onto. And I say plateau because all the characters initially have some form of story and they just flatten out and there's nothing to tell. They just kind of happen to do stuff together and that's pretty much it. There is no focus on any of the backstories to connect with these characters. And a slew of other problems that come up with that. And I am here to say I love a lot of various actresses and being the protagonists of various movies. I want more of that like anybody else. But when you have a shit script, no matter how much you want that, sometimes it just implodes the entire thing. I think Paul Feig and his writing partner, I forget her name, but I'll put an annotation here somewhere, I believe they should have not written this film. Dan Aykroyd and maybe someone else to take the helm of Harold Ramis, I think would have been a much more suitable writers for this particular franchise to keep going. If it was a reboot, fine, so be it. I've dealt with that before. But with the lackluster writing is what killed this movie in so many ways. It is just upsetting to probably many fans. I wish it could have been better. I wish there were more great moments because Kate McKinnon had some standout breakout moments and I have enjoyed her on SNL for a while now, and her performance in here was nothing but awesome. I enjoyed every minute she was on screen. I enjoyed Leslie Jones's character. She started off as being that stereotype like what we saw in the trailers, but my god, she proved me wrong, and she was actually much more enjoyable and contributing to the Ghostbusters team. Kristen Wiig had some good sincerity, but again, as I stated, her storyline kind of started a connection for us, the audience, to enjoy of her, and dropped that. Melissa McCarthy, I think, was the weakest performer in this entire bunch, just doing basic slapstick that just goes nowhere. And she's a paranormal scientist. That's about it. As a person who just wanted a good movie, just a good experience in the theater with this, you get none of it. It pleases nobody. That's my impression, though. There is a girl Slimer in this movie. I don't know why. There is a Slimer. There is a girl Slimer. I got nothing for that. It was terribly CGI'd. It was just literally someone copied Slimer and just put lipstick and a bow and hair on him. Lazy stuff like that. It's just, wow. Chris Hemsworth, Jesus, it's just beyond a stupid character. There was a few chuckling moments from his character at first, but after a while, when you're beating the dead horse of like, he's stupid, it's funny, ha ha, it's not funny. No. I could keep going. The forced cameos from the entire cast, it just halted everything to me. It didn't feel natural at all. The one who at least had a couple of interesting moments, which again, potential. A person who's trying to debunk Ghost, played by Bill Murray. A doctor trying to debunk Ghost. That would have been an amazing villain for them to have had. And Bill Murray played it pretty well, but no. We got a bland villain who just wanted to rule Ghost and destroy New York. You don't know why, just other than he was crazy, I guess, and bullied or something. That there wasn't any exposition. There was nothing to the guy. And he literally was the Ghostbusters logo. How's that for lazy writing? He literally turned into, when he's a ghost, he turned into the Ghostbusters logo and morphed himself into an uglier version of that. It's moments like that where I rubbed my forehead here and just sighed with disappointment. With so much creativity behind and in front of the camera, so much potential, the mediocrity is ridiculously bad in this movie. I have already stated every point that I could possibly make without spoiling the movie. If you all are still willing to check it out, by all means do so. I'm not here to bash and just tell people, fuck this movie, no. It's nowhere near as bad as I thought it could have been, but I think just the disappointment just makes it feel worse of an experience where it was just so boring at some points. I don't want to see this movie again. There's no point for me to. I saw it. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is it's a rental at best, if anything. If you really must see it, I don't really recommend rushing out to see it. Either way, if you're curious about it, by all means check it out, but I'm not guaranteeing you'll have the best of times. But I could be completely wrong. You may enjoy it like some of the other people in my screening were, again, just enjoying the heck out of it. So it may not just be for me at the end of the day. Regardless of my opinions, regardless of my thought process in this whole thing, I liked the differences. I liked the characters, what could have been. I saw the potential. I liked where it was going. I just wish there was more out of all the characters that were introduced here. I very much enjoyed the proton pack stuff and all the new weapons. And again, Kate McKinnon's Holtzman, loved the character, definitely the standout for me. And yeah, I'll end it on that more bittersweet note. It is a shame it couldn't have been better, but at the same time, it definitely could have been even worse than what I'm describing. Take my opinions with a grain of salt. I am not the end-all, be-all person in movie reviewing, so again, it is what it is. See it for yourself if you really want to. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff in between. So until next time, I'm Anthony Floods with Worth a Watch, and keep going to the movies.